Ahoy mates, I'm Zolanis, welcome to my den. Today we are a little bit out of form because we are playing World of Guns. Gun disassemble action something something. Not gonna lie, I don't remember the whole shebang about it. So let's just go with that, shall we? Anyway, first we are going to finish up with this very nice Tech 9 because I'm already inside, to be perfectly honest, and that's enough of a reason for me. The lighting is a little bit strong in this one. Let me just... Yeah, that's more like it. So, let me just quickly finish this up as I said beforehand. Since we are already inside. Not that one, apparently. Okay. Oh, do I need to first... Yes, that stupid pin, of course. So, the game sometimes have this bullshittery that you cannot put that thing inside until the other thing is in there, even though it's, like, not physically stopping you. IRL. And not stopping me from putting that in. Because now I can. I mean, seriously, there is nothing physically stopping me from putting that pin in there. No. These are the problems of the game currently. It's not really a big of a deal, to be perfectly honest. It makes it really fucking hard to do timed runs, aka the games that the games are crying about. So there is a game mode, super game mode, and hardcore mode, each doing a different thing, which I'm actually going to show you on a gun that I haven't unlocked yet. Namely, the Harpers Ferry Flintlock thingamajig. It's kind of pistol, but if you make a gun the same size today, it could be like a... Well, it still would be a really big pistol, considering the grip, but... Considering the bore, it could be a fucking rifle. Anyways, onto the disassembling side. So... One would think that Flintlock stuff and basically everything before the 20th century was simple as fuck. No. I'd like to bring that notion to end by showing you the fucking lock mechanism. Yes, it's just as complicated as it seems to be. There is a... do we have part names? Yes, we do have part names. So, we have the trigger here, this bit, that is already connecting to a sear. You know, a thing that is mostly used in modern firearms. A sear that lets this tumbler thingamajig roll, which is the hammer basically, holding the flint. Apparently wrapped in a leather. Nice. Anywho. However, it doesn't end there because there is this bridle. Okay, this bridle is actually just that. No. Make the tumbler thingamajig not scrape against the wood. However, there is this sear spring that lets the tumbler reset afterwards. And also this main spring that that's the freezer. Okay, that's a weird word. This little cap here reset, kind of. Due to this spring outside that is weirdly enough a different coloration than the spring inside, which by the fucking by likes to clip. I will show you in the operation stage. However, what we can start with is removing these two springamajigs. So we can take this side plate off, which will do nothing. It's just a thing there. What we could do is take out the whole assembly now, because they are not holding there with the springs. The fucking screws. Too much thing that starts with SPR. Anyway, this will allow us to not take out the barrel for some reason. What is holding you there, my friend? Let's take the wedge out, which is there for some reason. Same deal on the other side. I don't know what this one is for. It perfectly honestly doesn't. Oh, it does actually hold the barrel down, which is still unable to take out. Okay. Once again, what's holding you? If it's going to be the trigger group, I'm eating your ass. It's not the trigger group. Is it the ramrod? It was the stupid ramrod, see? You can easily remove the fucking barrel alongside the goddamn ramrod. It's literally underside the fucking barrel. Anyway. Doesn't fucking matter. Well, it does when we are actually going to do the timed thingamajigs, but that's beside the point. Anywho, we have still stuff left to remove, like this stock band, which is there for reasons. I guess so the ramrod is not going to scrape against the wood once again, but... Oh, it's actually to separate the barrel from the wood, because... The barrel from the ramrod, because there is a fucking hole here. Okay. That makes sense. There goes up the rear thimble. That's not a thimble, my friend. That's the holder from the ramrod. Cool things, but they are not weird things. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, off goes the trigger assembly, which is pretty straightforward. Also, before you think, no, this trigger plate is not serving any function besides holding the fucking trigger. Anyway, off you fuck. And now we have the whole firing mechanism left. So, screws first, because those are definitely removable first. Weaponsmithing 101, if it's a screw, it's definitely removable almost immediately, no matter what it actually is. Okay, that's a whole assembly, so first we are going to remove this thingamajig, and still bitching about it. Okay, lock spring and sear out. Now can I remove that? No. Is it the main spring that's problematic for you? No. Oh, there is a screw on the other side as well, because fuck me, I guess. Now we can remove the hammer and remove the tumbler. We can also remove the prison, which is a very weird name for a very obvious thing. Oh, there is also another screw there that is screwing onto the main spring, both of them. Yeah, this is supposed to be a spring. Like usually the game tells you that it's a spring by having this coloration to it. This is a little bit off-putting. Anyway, let's go on to the hammer itself. By removing that screw first, then the top jaw, the leather, and the flint. And that's our hammer done. What is left is possibly some bullshit. Ah yes, we need to disassemble the ramrod because of course it's a multiple part thing that you cannot just, you know, ship with the weapon itself. And we can also remove this butt plate as well, which, besides decoration and the possibility to hit somebody with a head with, doesn't serve any purpose. Now onto assembly. So first of all, we should assemble the parts that are separate. And also put on the... okay, I first put that in there and then the screw, even though they are very obviously after each other. Okay, game, you do you. We can put in the tumbler, the stock band, assemble the barrel, and do we put the barrel inside? Yes, we do put the barrel inside, but not secure it with the screw first. Can I put the trigger back? Yes, we can. Can I put the trigger guard there? Can I put the thing inside now? Okay. Yeah, because the trigger is actually held in place with the same screw that is holding the barrel. Glorious. Now we can put these whatever the fucks back inside. Part names, please. Why is this not automatic, or at least remembering my stuff? Anyway, so R frame holder. Yeah, sure. There is something R looking about it. Nah. Even the wedge is called like a wedge and not a fucking R frame. Oh, L frame. Ah. So R and L as in, you know, left and right. Right and left, in that case. Anywho. Can I put this back on? Of course not. I can put the reverod. No? Yes? Yes, I can put the reverod back inside. Glorious. And now let's assemble the stuff. So first, put the leather back inside, then the top jaw, then the top jaw screw. Glorious. Now, let's put the prison spring and its screw alongside the mainspring, and if I can fucking position myself correctly, which is very hard in this game for some fucking reason, instead of, you know, clicking on something and immediately putting the camera in there, no? Instead we have to do it manually. I think there is an option to do just that, but I'm not sure how to actually do it. No. We can put the hammer back alongside with this washer and screw now. We can also put this sear screw back inside. Also the bridle, the sear, and the two screws that hold them. Oh, don't forget the prison Zoltan. There, the whole assembly can go back down now, alongside the side plate and the two screws holding it. Glorious. Weirdly enough, this assembly is containing more parts than a modern pistol. Let me show you. Where is it? Here, Makarov PM. It's 28 parts versus this fucking 19th century Flintlock pistol is 53 parts. So next time you think that everything made in, well, basically 200 years before is simple, no. Not even the simpler pistols and rifles are not as complicated. Sorry, can be more complicated than modern stuff. I think I have somewhere a Winchester. 75 parts, you know. I'm not going to say that it's a simpler thing, but it's once again 150 years old. Whilst, you know, a Mauser made roughly 80. Let me actually count. So 73, that's 37, sorry, 27 plus 35. 65 years later, they made a rifle that is supposedly significantly better in like every regard, kind of. And it's 48 parts. Also, okay, AK is actually more about PPSH. Even the PPSH, a actual automatic submachine gun, has more parts than a 150 years old Winchester carbine. Depends on what kind of ammunition you are shooting from it. On the other hand, the fucking grenade launcher, which is supposed to be just a fucking tube, is 99 parts. Anyway, let's stop with the comparisons and go on to the operation of the Flintlock. So, obviously, it shoots. It goes bang. Afterwards, it reloads for a pretty long time. So, what is important? Fucking part names game, remember me. Anyway, so what is important is that the bullet itself is grooved. That was kinda supposed to help with aerodynamics, because it makes the round spin in the barrel. I think it's called the Mine ball, though I remember it actually being spirally and not, you know, just grooved. Also, this is the powder charge, for some reason. It looks weird, especially because there is like two parts of it. Even though the Friesen also has the powder charge shown. So yeah. I think... oh, that's maybe the VOD. Yeah, that's probably the VOD. Isn't that supposed to be before the bullet? Eh. Oh, it wasn't, because this is already... okay. So the bullet itself, even though it's a smoothbore, don't do it with actual firearms, by the way, especially if they are loaded. This is a game, don't fucking worry. So, as you can see, the bullet is... well, depends on where am I actually looking at it, but it's supposedly the same diameter exactly as the barrel, which is quite the precision in the 90th century that it was made in. Early 90th, mind you. Having a barrel actually match the fucking bullet it shoots was a pretty big deal back then. Because of that, it allowed the bullet to be like this. So again, I think it should be spiraled to actually have the spinning effect, but details. And also, this means that you don't need another VOD in front of the bullet, because it's not going to need pressure to build up. Because it already has the pressure with the VOD retaining just the powder itself. And all of that pressure is going to make the bullet go forward instead of escaping in the holes, because there are no holes. The bullet is actually filling the barrel. I said a very simple thing for a very long time. Let's do the boom once again. Boom. Now let's do the reloading also. Yep, that's the wadding. I don't know why it's called bullet 1 and bullet 2 instead of wad and powder charge, but sure. So, what I also want to show you is how it actually works. So, let's remove the stock. So we have a way to see the insides now. When you are pulling the trigger, it very slowly, because we are on 50% slow motion. Sorry, 50 thingamagic slow motion. Don't go away. So, because we are at that, it's actually readable. So what is happening is that you are moving the trigger, which is going to move the sear, which in turn will let the tumbler tumble, which is due to this mainspring pushing it down. When that happens, the hammer containing the flint is going to scrape against the frizzen, which in turn not just open up as the scraping is happening, but also going to make a spark that ignites the powder charge that is not fucking named for some reason. And that charge on the other hand, okay, the hole is not rendered, or is it? It is. There is a very small hole that allows the fire to go into the barrel and ignite the powder charge found in the barrel. That is going to, well, ignite and thus explode the fuck out of, or burn very fast and expanding, which is explosion in my book, but people are really touched about this subject of explosion not happening in the rifle. It's a controlled burst of fire and shit. No, it's explosion. Trust me. It's a fucking explosion. It's a different kind of explosion that happens in your engine, for example, but it's still an explosion. I am willing to bash on experts about this. Anywho, so as you can see, the spark ignites the powder charge, and weirdly enough, the firearm immediately fires, which is not the case in real life. But the recoil is okay-ish, I guess. Supposedly these firearms are kinda have a weird recoil because they move forward as well as upwards and not backwards like we are used to. But maybe this one is different because, you know, the actual proper sealing with the barrel and the bullet. Or maybe I just remember different. I don't know. What is important though is that after the... Oh shit, I actually need to show you that. So, after the fire happens, the trigger resets because the sear is also supported by a sear spring, which is, well, this is a weird configuration because it's on the side of the fucking barrel, but the firearm, instead of like being above it, and it's a not coil spring, a limb spring or whatever the fuck they are called. These ones instead of the proper spirally thingies, which today would be just that. Instead of having this weird sear spring here, it would probably just be a spiral spring connected to here or something, which pushes down the sear immediately, so the trigger resets, which is very important because if the trigger doesn't fucking reset, then it's not going to be well, holding the tumbler back when you are pulling it back when reloading. which I'm going to show you as well. So the reloading happens. Yes, so you reload by pulling backwards the hammer, which is obviously connected to this tumbler thing. Let me remove the bridle because it's just there to, you know, have the big metal part not scrape against the fucking wood. So right now it's in the spent position, I guess, not the safe position. There is no safety on this gun besides not firing it. So when you are pulling the hammer, it's also okay, what the fuck? I thought that it's connected to the mainspring. Wait, mainspring. Of course it's not fucking connected to it, Zoltan. The mainspring is just there because it's a spring. Also, I think I have shown you the... Yes. So there is a little bit of a weird thing with this gun, that the mainspring actually no collides into itself. This is an indie game that is free to download by the fucking buy, so not much bashing upon that. But yeah, normally this would bend inside of the firearm because, you know, it's springy metal. When it connects with the mainsprings too, which is very hard material that is also very secured, it bends, but I guess that would be hard to actually animate or something. So they went with a no collision instead. But what it does, this spring, is that when you are recocking the hammer, making the tumbler, I said making the tumbler move alongside it, it will eventually, very eventually, get into that groove. And now when you're letting the hammer go back, the sear is going to stop it. Whilst the mainspring also clipping into the tumbler, I think. Yeah, it is actually clipping into the tumbler. Stop moving the gun. So the mainspring is going to provide tension to the tumbler, so you can fucking fire it again when you move the sear. And the sear is going to provide a stable fucking opposition force, I guess, on the other side, with the sear spring also helping the sear to fucking stay in place. Which is kinda weird because one would think that this big ass mainspring would have enough power to just, you know, overpower the sear spring, but it's not the case because it's a very long spring that is also bending and this part losing energy, so it's not that strong. Otherwise, let's move the barrel so we can fucking see what is happening. So basically, there is the powder charge from this very nice loader, by the by. You press on this thing and it allows the flow of a little bit of a powder, which I cannot actually show you because this is not part of the gun. Anyway, the amount of powder that it allows with one button mash, I guess, is severely limited. So much so that it actually makes for an optimum amount, semi-optimal amount of powder charge for this pistol. It is also the optimal, wad, bullet, ramrod. And there you go. And it's actually using the same amount of powder charge in the freezer. Not the freezer, it's just the screaming bit. The pen, yes, I forgot the fucking name of this thing. The pen, because it just says lock plate, but this is the pen. Yes. And it uses the same amount of powder inside as in the that is using to provide the bullet. So you can use the same fucking tool to reload both sides, which was well, for us it sounds kinda like obvious, but back in the day this was cutting edge technology. So yeah. Lastly, let me shoot it once again with its full glory. Glorious. Pretty simple if you are looking close to it. Also, X-ray. The X-ray on this game are a little bit weird. Like the first X-ray, this is kinda useless. I don't see any way how this could be used in any firearm that is at least a little bit complicated. Like, without the knowledge of what is actually inside, if you look at this image, okay, I see this weird feathery bit and this other bit, and there is this spring-looking thing. I cannot make heads or tails about this one, no matter where I'm looking at it. I actually need to go inside, and if I also go inside, then there is no fucking reason for the X-rays. However, if you are going for X-ray 2 or something, then the important bits are shown, like the trigger assembly here. This is what makes the gun actually do the thing. Afterwards, it's going to show the hammer mechanism and the firing mechanism, to be perfectly honest. With old firearms, it's a little bit hard to tell which part is which, especially when you have conflicting ideas from having Hungarian gun knowledge and Western gun knowledge. Why have you forsaken me? Bottle cap. But basically, this hammer assembly is the progenitor of all the later hammer assemblies that happen afterwards. Besides the... no, not even the besides, the ones that use floating firing pin, because even that is hammer operated. Yeah. Anyway. This gets significantly simplified down with modern firearms, which I'm going to show you in a bit. And this whole bit for the fucking prison and stuff is just outright ditched because you don't fucking need it in modern firearms. But yeah. Lastly, we have X-ray 4, which just puts the plates and the barrel inside, so you can see them. Once again, a bit superfluous if you ask me. There is no reason for you to have the barrel and shit, and not the insides of the gun. But yeah. Also, no cutaway. Normally you would have a cutaway for weapons, but not for this one. Well, I guess you would need to fucking cut all of these to show the mechanism, which is also on this side mainly. So yeah, that's a bit weird, but it would help, definitely. Like a cutaway here to actually make you see the trigger mechanism. But no. Anyway, weird gun. Let's exit. And now we are going to do the game. Oh, you actually don't need to. Usually it removes a charge from the firearm, but I guess it starts without a charge this time because there is no unload. Anyway. Oh, you fuck. Oh, because of the wedge. Okay, so see, there is this sniper thing. The sniper achievement is get when you only select parts that can actually be removed, and there is also the Serenity achievement, which you get if you are not clicking a thing that is not clicking on a thing whilst an animation is still going on. So, because I won these achievements, I'm going to restart the thing. I'm not going for the timed events because I don't want to lose sanity right now. But let me remove all of these. Also remove that. Now let me remove the wedge. And also the wedge holders while we are at it. Which take a fuck ton of time. Also remove the fucking ramrod. And whilst we are at it, let's remove the caps of the ramrod. Now, if everything is correct, I can remove the screw from the barrel and remove the barrel. Yes, I can remove the barrel. Thank fucking god. Afterwards, I can remove that from the barrel. Glorious. Now I can remove this stupid band. And afterwards, this ramrod holder, which is called a weird name because of reasons. Now we can remove the butt plate. First starting with its screw. And last but not least, we can remove the fucking trigger assembly. Which is cheap as fuck. Now, on to the firing mechanism. So, as I stated before, if it's a screw, you can immediately remove it. So don't worry about that. Now remove parts that are easily discernible that they can fucking be removed, like the mainspring. Can I remove the mainspring before the tumbler? Let's see. I'm going to remove the sear thingamajig. Remove the metal plating. The sear. Okay, you actually need to remove the spring first because reasons. That's going to be a restart. Which is fucking annoying, especially because you are starting on the wrong side of the firearm. Just saying. At least make the players not lose their fucking sanity over that. So we are removing that. Remove the wedge. Remove the wedge holders. Remove the ramrod. Disassemble the ramrod. Remove the thing. And the barrel. Remove barrel. Band. Ramrod holder. Trigger assembly. Taken apart. And once again, all the fucking screws. So, this can be removed, this can be removed. Can be, yes. Okay. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Why? I mean, there is nothing holding it there, I guess, but why? Okay, apparently the fucking hammer needs to be removed before the thing instead of, you know, instead of it being the same fucking part taken apart. Yeah. The game is very stupid. Sometimes. Most times, actually. Not gonna lie, you are going to lose sanity over this. Especially if you are going for the timed events, which are, you know, timed. So you need to do it under pressure. Remove the screw. Also, since we are removing screw, remove this screw and also the butt plate, so I'm not going to fucking forget about it. Remove the barrel. Remove barrel thingamajig. Remove trigger. Disassemble trigger. Band. And the ramrod holder. Screws for days. Like, IRL this would just fucking fall apart immediately, and now we are going to remove the fucking hammer. Are you happy now, game? Are you fucking happy now? Hammer, screw, top part of the hammer, and the flint and leather. Glorious. Now we are going to do the assembly, so flint and leather first, cap, screw, this first, then the hammer. Let's put this one back, I guess. Where is the sear? There is the sear. That can go back. So is the sear spring. So is this holder bit. Now the main spring. Both sides. And we can put the screws back. Hopefully in any order. Speaking of screws, let's put the butt plate there because it's really fucking easy. Let's assemble the trigger and put it back in. Let's assemble the barrel, and before putting that back in, let's put back in the ramrod holder and this stupid band. Now you come back alongside with the ramrod. Your weird wedge holder. The wedge. Can I put this back? Yes, I can. Let me screw this back on. Put back the firing mechanism, the plate, and the two screws. And there you go. Finished in fucking 4 minutes. Okay. I earned the fucking credit. Because holy shit, nobody is fucking playing this weapon apparently. Like, as you can see, there are achievements. There is an achievement for doing any of the games and reaching top 3. And there is also one, which is very important, the champion achievement, which actually gives you a credit. Credit is the in-game premium currency, which you can use to buy guns that the developers decided to put behind fucking credits. Which is, well, Not gonna lie, the reasons behind making a weapon premium exclusive or not eludes me. Let me actually show you an example. This one not. Okay, so Sig Sg 2022, which was made in 2002. Don't worry. Normal bitches 9mm Parabellum, 3 fucking credits. Where are you? M4. Fuck ton of parts. Basically the staple weapon for most Western armies, and especially the US one. No credits. Where is also RPD, the basic bitches bullshit that you can find anywhere because it's a fucking, you know, I can count sometimes. That's 55 plus 22, 77. So a 77 years old gun that is that has been made in very large numbers. 5 credits. There are also some weirdest you didn't even know about them guns that are behind the paywall. Sorry. There are stuff that is behind paywall, like the fucking Browning M2. Okay, that's a lot of parts that I can understand. This one as well. Okay, Smith & Wesson semi-automatic pistol is a little bit weird for me. Like, who the fuck buys a Smith & Wesson that is not a fucking revolver? Anywho. M60 as well. And this is not even that much parts. Like, where are you? There is the Sig Sg 550 sniper. Very, well, I'm not going to say that it's a unknown gun, because it obviously isn't. But it's not really popular. Also 91 parts, so it should be like, you know, premium gun super, but no. But the M60, of which you have a factor of, you know, in stock that you can just scan or do whatever, is behind. So is the brand by the fucking by, which I don't understand. Walter PP is at least, sorry, Walter P99, which is Walter PP for me. Or the Calico. The Calico is not a premium weapon. This is a fucking unicorn. Like, 8 minutes. How? I don't even want to know. Do I want to unlock it? Not with my current XP amount. Anyway, let me finish up with the... Actually, should we finish up? But I need to do the super game and the hardcore game. So, super game. It's basically a sniper. Oh. With a little bit of an extra, as you can see. So I don't know why screw is like that. You can increase your speed if you do the thing. Okay, fuck. Okay, fuck as well. Why is that a thing? I don't understand. And why is that not a thing? And why is that not a thing? Wrong part. What? Okay, I forgot something apparently. Oh, the valve thing. Okay. This one. Oops. Come on, click. Now can I remove it? Yes, and I can fail it also. Why? And let's remove the trigger group. And disassemble the trigger group. And now onto the goddamn gun. So, screws. Screws! Fuck you! Alrighty, and now the screw. The top. And that one. What did I miss? Oh, the butt plate, of course. How could I forget the fucking butt plate? Okay, let's reset the trigger assembly. First I will need to put that one back, then the hammer, and now I can put this screw back, also this thingamajig pen, then this thingamajig, and I will need to put that screw back. Can I put that screw back? I think I can. Because now it's a little bit complicated, since you need to put it back in order. Not the screws, the standard screws hold. Anywho, let's put together the trigger assembly, also put the trigger assembly back, and now we can put this one back, I guess? No, I need the barrel for that first. But before the barrel, I need to put these little boys back. As such. There you go. Screw it back on. Put this one back. Put these switches back. Wedge. Let's assemble the ramrod. Fuck you! Put this blade back. Also put this blade back. Screw. Screw. Why are you saying that I hit dick? Also top 3. Yay. And now the hardcore game. Now, the hardcore game is a little bit weird because you can and in the meantime, let me do. So basically, you just click on stuff with this. Did I remove everything? No, I didn't remove them. Oh shit. Yeah, I need to remove that first. Okay, let me do a restart. Fuck, I need to start on this side game. Why are you doing this to me? Let's remove that. Let's remove that. That. Those, the ramrod, by the by. Both sides of this bitch. The trigger group, the barrel. The barrel thingamajig. That, whatever the fuck, the trigger group. That shit. The butt plate. That screw, that screw, that screw. The butt plate itself. That thing. That screw, that screw, that screw, and that screw, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, the hammer, the sear, the tumbler, the hammers screw, the top part, this thingamajig. What did I miss? Of course, the fucking ramrod. Glorious. Let's put the ramrod back together. That thing, the butt plate, this whatever the fuck, this whatever the fuck, barrel, the screw for that thing. First that. Let's finish up the hammer. That hammer screw. Hammer. These bitches. That one, the bridle, and all of the fucking screws. Now, I think I can put this one back. Put the... Why? Oh, because I forgot that stupid band. Okay, I don't care about the sniper achievement in that case. Let me just put that one back on. That one, and the two screws. Okay, I didn't get the sniper achievement because I don't give a fuck about it, but I got the thing. The hardcore player you get when you first don't fuck up like I did and do the sniper. And also make what's it called? When you put, use or activate 4 parts at the same time. Anyway, fuck this gun. Now let's do something a little bit modern. Like a Makarov pistol. Makarovs are easy as bitch. Glorious. Now, first stripping them starts with the fucking magazine, like always. Then you just pull back the part names, please. No? Okay. Anyway, so you pull the slide back using this nice little... How it's even called in English? A mechanism, yes. Remove the main spring and that's it. You should also fucking remove the barrel if you ask me, but I guess they wanted to keep the thing very simple. Anyway, what this mechanism is basically just the trigger guard being on that swivel, and it's not letting the slide go in that direction, just backwards. I'm going to show you in proper disassembly right now. Okay, so first and foremost, always start with the fucking magazine because easy. And also you can make sure that the gun is not going to go off. Also remove everything. By the fucking by, let's get the part names because I'm also telling you what the fuck is it. So this is just the magazine, it's cut away so you can see how much shit you have in there. There is also the floor plate that keeps everything inside, and it's made out of a magazine spring and also a follower which pushes the bullets out in an angle, as you can see. Kinda see. It's on a little bit of an angle that helps with feeding. Otherwise, Makarovs can hold 8 rounds. Or was it 9? We will see in operation. Anyway, after that you can screw out the Gibbs grip screw, which is a big ass screw in there that allows you to remove the whole grip, which is made out of plastic, if I remember correctly, some kind of plastic, or bakelit, which is still plastic but depends. Also, it has this little thingamajig in there, allowing you to clip stuff to it, which stuff usually the tags maybe, or a little bit of a string that you use to attach your gun to yourself. Otherwise, it's not a really important bit, it's just a interesting one. So there is this spring retainer, which you remove, and which allows you to remove the hammer. And basically the trigger spring, though that's not the trigger spring, that's the hammer spring. Let me actually remove the fucking slide. See? It literally just makes the slide not be able to go in the opposite direction. Also, we can remove the trigger guard now. Remove the recoil spring. It's also spring loaded by the by, which we can also remove now. Simply just a spiral spring and a retaining plunger that pushes away against this part of the trigger guard. Anyway, I don't know if you can actually see it. Thanks to the highlight we can, so that is the hammer thingamajig. And the retaining spring. Fucking... I need to geolocate my ass on this game sometimes, but... no, we cannot see it because of the frame. But otherwise, how it works is that... how can I say it? So, there is this hammer thingamajig, which is not a fucking hammer. That's not the hammer, this is the hammer. Oh, that's the ejector. Is it inside the slide? It might be. The firing pin. Yeah. Seems so. There you go. That's the firing pin. Let's remove it. Via the safety, which literally just makes the firing pin move or not. Anyway, let's remove it. This is what this hammer bit strikes into the within the slide, which punctures the percussion gap on the round itself. Also, we have this weird extractor thingamajig right there. Ah yes, extractor. Extractor is the thing that pulls the bullet backwards. Sorry, the bullet casing backwards after it's empty. And the ejector, which is also the slide stop apparently, is what makes the bullet casing fly out on the side. Anyway, we can remove the rear, but not the front sides. What we can also do is, because the extractor, is spring loaded, is that we are going to remove the buffer. The plunger, and the spring. That's a completely disassembled slide. What we now have to do is remove the hammer and trigger spring, even though it's not even connected to the trigger. The trigger is connected to the slide, I presume. There is the trigger. The fuck it operates. There you go. That is what I was looking for, the trigger bar that makes the motion produced here, which is a vertical one by the by. Vertical? No, sorry, a horizontal one, and transfers it to a vertical one, which in turn will make it a torsion, kind of. Not torsion, sorry. This kind of motion. Don't know the name for it. Anyways, let's remove the sear. It's a very weird sear because it just stops the thingamajig right there. We are going to see it operation, don't worry. Have it remove the... No, it didn't remove the fucking spring alongside. Fuck you. Now we are going to remove the hammer, which is not an assembly. It's literally just grinded out of a single piece of metal. After that, we are removing the cocking lever and trigger bar. Two separate pieces. The ejector and slide stop. And the trigger itself. There you go. Simple as fuck. Let's go for the assembly as well, so I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. Anyway, slide and thingamajig can go back alongside with trigger. Also this plunger can as well the trigger guard. Sorry, the trigger guard, yes. I'm not stupid. The spring can also go back. And so does this, if I remember correctly. Yes. Oh, also assemble the slide. So plunger back in alongside with the extractor. IRL you need to do this the same fucking time, otherwise the spring is just, you know, going to spring the fuck out. What's it called? Part names, please. The rear sight can go backward. Also the firing pin. Firing pin first, then the safety, because the safety is stopping the firing pin. So the firing pin needs to be fucking there for the safety to actually work. Anyway, sear, which goes back after the hammer, because the sear is stopping the hammer. That's what sears do. Then we can put back the hammer and the trigger spring, its retainer, the grip screw, put the assemble slide back on. I like that mechanic, by the way. Assemble the magazine, put it back in, and ejaculate. When you know where things are, it's pretty easy. And I'm going to show you in the game. Afterwards we are going to see the operation. So, yes, I remember correctly, it has 8 ammunition inside. Technically you can also make it 9 by loading in a round first before putting in the magazine, or putting in the magazine, loading the first round, remove the magazine, put in the round into magazine and put the magazine back inside, but that's a little bit weird. With the correct amount of fiddling, you can put a bullet through here as well. Technically you shouldn't do it because it's fucking unsafe, but otherwise it works. Also, it's close to its IRL sound. Also first, part names and click and hide. So let's remove the grip and let's remove the frame. And let's remove the fucking magazine. Are the bullets? No, the bullets are not properly modeled. Sometimes they have the writing on the Karima, I don't know what's it called in English, the butt part of the bullet, where it denotes, in this case, 9x80 Makarov. It might also have a serial number. Sometimes. Now let's do an unload, which is basically pulling the slide backwards, so the bullet comes out. Doing an unload with non-spent casing inside. Wait, what am I saying? If the casing is spent, then it's going to get out because of the extractor thematic. Anyway, this sometimes fails with the Makarov, even though it shouldn't. It's literally to clear misfires and shit. But in true Soviet fashion, it can obviously fuck up. Also, I don't remember if the inserting magazine, let me just remove the slide as well. Wait, do I need to remove the slide? I need it to be present, kind of, maybe. Just to see how it works. Okay, so let's empty it. And you might ask, Zoltan, what the fuck is stopping the gun from, you know, making the bolt, in this case the slide, which is the bolt itself by the fucking pipe, go forward when the gun is empty? Really good question. It's supposed to be the magazine itself, because this follower thing is supposed to actually be stopping it. But it seems that the creators of the game forgot about this feature. Or wait, is it the magazine? Maybe I'm mistaking it with the Makarov. Is it this? The cocking lever? It might be. However, there is nothing telling the thing. Ejector and slide stop. Oh, there you go. Took me a little bit of time to fucking remember it and realize it, because looking at the fucking thing actually helps. And you know, it's apart and shit, not the totally apart when the game pulls everything out, but when you have the slide and the frame separate, you can tell that the ejector and slide stop is it's the slide stop. If it doesn't have a bullet inside, let me do it in slow motion this time. The reloading. There goes the empty magazine. Comes back with a full one. And stop. So, when the full magazine is inserted, the ejector and slide stop, which needs to be manually engaged by the way when the thing is spent, will need to be put backwards. Backwards or downwards? See? Downwards it go. It is actually retained with this sear and slide stop spring. See, why have two separate springs for two separate things when you can have the same thing for this for two things, the sear and the slide stop. Soviet engineering, it also means that it likes to bake. Just to put it outside, out for you. So you put in the magazine, slide that bitch in. And then it finishes. The loading procedure, that is. I think they forgot to animate something. Because yeah, it pushes it down, but... Boom! It stays in position. There you go. And now is the important bit. So, you fire your last round. The trigger, the firing pin punctures the percussion cap. Slide ejector. Oh. Did it go this much backwards beforehand? So it's even close to the magazine, so for some reason the magazine follower is not rising, even though it should be now. There goes the boom. Ah! Found it! The follower has this little bit. There you go, that's what it makes it rise. Took me a little bit of time, but I found it. This is the problem when you are actually more interested in old school fucking firearms than, you know, proper ones. Like, you know, bolt action rifles or the Winchester repeaters and shit. Anyway, the follower just makes the ejector and slice stop rise, because if we remove this one, you can see there is the ejector, and there is that little bit of metal there, which is very hard to see, but the polygons show that there is a little bit of a protrusion out there. And when the ejector... Okay, they fucked up the protrusion. So what the ejector... when the ejector rises, a protrusion shouldn't literally let it move forward. But it's very hard to see because it's fucking black, and also there is a goddamn spent casing in my face. Anyway, as you can see, normally when it's on the lower side, it should be able to slide over it like such, but when it rises due to the follower making it rise, that protrusions should be totally and utterly stopped. Though I kinda remember the Makarov bolt being stopped by the thing. Not that weird protrusion, but I might be remembering differently. Or it might have been that because the Hungarian armed forces wasn't the bestly equipped back in the day. That It was just a malfunctioning gun. Anyway, these are just little details that are not really important, but it's important that it conveys the information that the ejector and slide stop is actually stopping the fucking slide. Anywho, stop with the slow motion, do the reload, stop the click and hide. What else do I want to show you? The trigger mechanism, obviously. For that, we have the cutaway. So, this cutaway should be showing us. Let us do it. Oh, I guess that's for the. No, that's the safety. Okay, why the fuck is there a cutaway here? Besides showing that the trigger indeed works. Actually, it doesn't fucking show that the trigger indeed works. What it kinda shows is the next round getting loaded into. But because it fucking moves, there's something there. I guess it can show the spring if you are really interested about it, but... No, the spring is shown here. Why the fuck is there a cutaway here? Like, besides the safety, there is nothing else to it. Like, you cannot show how the trigger guard actually acts as a slide returning bit. Or maybe it's showing the empty part when it rises. Don't know. Faster reload, please. So, what else we can see from the cutaway from here is how the safety works. Let me show it again. So, when you make the safety in the lower position, it lets the firing pin, the hammer, to hit the firing pin without any hitch. Let me show it in very slow motion. So the sear lets the hammer go forward and hits the firing pin, which is also not technically spring loaded, I think. It might be though, I forgot. Anyway, they are usually spring loaded, so they can actually go back. But yeah. However, if you engage the safety, it's actually going to form a blockage right before it hits the pin. So there is the pin. There is it, and it should be moving the pin this much more inside, but because the safety is making a blockage, which also stops it from here by the fucking bar, which is also nice. Also, I think these are meshing. Anyway, so it doesn't have the hammer hit the firing pin a bit more forwards, actually making the gun fire. If the safety would be changed now and the hammer not reset, which it will do on the other hand, I think. Well, the animation shows it reset. Where normally what is making you reset? I think it's just good old-fashioned Let me remove the grip so I can see. Also, let me remove the frame so I can actually see the hammer trigger spring. No, the hammer spring just makes it go forward. It doesn't reset it. Yeah. So that's a manual action. Okay. No problem. The slight adjustment means that if you have it in safety, and then turn it to non-safety, I don't know the word for it, and don't cock the hammer back, it's not going to fire. Just putting that out there. It also might mean that it's going to make the firing pin go a little bit forwards, which possibly not going to puncture the bullet itself, sorry, the percussion cap, but it might. Especially if you accidentally hit the hammer too hard. That too hard being like actually hitting it with a hammer though. Anyways, what else is important? I guess the sear spring. So the hammer and trigger spring are at first the trigger spring actually acts, if I fucking find it. So this is the hammer and trigger spring. The big one is for the hammer. And there is supposed to be a trigger part as well. Oh, it's fucking cut. Oh, wait, no. That one is the trigger one. Because it pushes on the cocking lever. The cocking lever basically being there. Go backwards. Well, it's not in the safety action per se, but if I go and fire, it starts out in a weird position. Anyway, so when you are pulling the trigger bar is going to move the cocking lever. Basically enough so that it makes the sear go off the hammer and allows the hammer to bong the firing pin. I think, yes, now it's in full thingamajig. The sear spring, which is also the slide spring by the fucking pipe, forcing the sear to go immediately backwards. Because, you know, spring tension. And if I find it once again, there you are. So there is this thingamajig that is actually acting against the cocking lever. Which kinda resets both it and the... And by extension, if I fucking find it once again, the trigger bar and thus the trigger. To its proper position afterwards. The moment the slide is not obstructing its way, of course. Also, I think it should happen in the same fucking time, but details. Oh, and also when you actually pull your fucking finger off the trigger, that kinda needs That kinda needs to happen before the cocking lever is back into action. Anyway, as the slide come backwards, first it's searing the sear. This shit likes to go away really fast. Oh, hi viewer, I don't know how long have you been here, but welcome to the dam. My face might have been obstructing the view, I just realized. Not much. Anyway, so the sear likes to scrape off thanks to the slide, but sliding on it constantly. So it needs to be made out of a hard material like proper hard steel and no stainless bullshit. Otherwise, when the slide is going backwards, oh, actually you can see that little bit of a protrusion there, if I don't fuck up that one. That is what the sear is actually attacking, getting onto. Right there. What is also a common problem is the hammer scraping off a little bit after the slide going on there, but that part is not that important, to be perfectly honest. It can be ground off. And as you can see, the hammer and trigger spring is now back to action. And pushing the hammer backwards into position. Actually fucking colliding into each other's textures, but details. What I'm really interested in is if that hammer bit right there is going to be caught by the spring. Sorry, the sear. Actually, how much does it go down? I'm very interested now. So, when we do the fire, it goes down that much. If I go into the firearm somehow, I would say that I cannot see. But I'm trying to see if that little bit of metal is there for some reason. Where is the hammer? There is the hammer. So, what I'm interested in is that teeth. What does it do? Doesn't seem to be catching anything. Maybe it's just the cutaway, so, you know, less material or something. And also to not mess with the cocking lever, which is not that close to it, first. Like, even the cocking lever has this weird cutout in there, even though it shouldn't. Like, that cutout there doesn't do shit. Besides probably pressing against the sear itself. At a point, maybe. But it definitely shouldn't press against it. Anyway... Nope, that teeth, it doesn't do shit. Okay. Next part is seeing how the fucking magazine works. Not that big of a deal. explodes into, and it makes the ejector go up with the next bullet. Also by the thing not being there, the follower. We can also see how the bullet looks like, and also how the recoil spring operates. It's basically the same as the 911 and the board chart. The board chart. There was a semi-automatic pistol before the 911. Anywho, I think that is going to be enough for the Makarov operation. Nifty little firearm. I like it. Not just because it's fucking cheap and small and very cheap ammunition for it everywhere. At least in the Eastern Bloc. But also because of its history and like the little engineering masterpieces located inside. Like how the you can type please. How the ejector and the slide stop is the same fucking thing. Or that the sear spring and the ejector and slide stop spring is the same fucking thing. Nifty little gun. I also just fucking love this trigger guard system. You know how it doesn't let the what's your name? I always forget the slide because you don't say the part name that I just had either. Anyway, so it doesn't let the slide go more forwards than it's supposed to be. And yeah, nifty. Anyway, let's go for the stupid X-rays. First X-ray showing the magazine for some reason, then the firing bit, including the extractor and the base firing magazine. So if we shoot, it's not going to show us anything because we need to be in at least 10 times the slow motion. So we pull the trigger bar makes the cocking lever go up, letting the sear go off the hammer, which in turn strikes the firing pin that strikes the percussion cap of the bullet, and it fires. Lots of springs and shit, yada yada yada. Then we have the extractor pulling on the spent casing when the slide goes backwards, and also there is the extractor plunger in there, which basically retains it. And sadly it's not showing the ejector, because that is actually very important. See, that little green thing, that's the ejector. That is what hits the bullet, making it tumble out towards the hole. Now you can see it. Glorious. Oh, by the fucking by. There is also the plastic view if you don't like metallic for some reason. Kinda helps you see better. Kinda. Also helps you differentiate between parts. I say that was the trigger bar is a different shade of fucking blue than the frame, and so is the cocking lever. I mean, they should have been yellow in my opinion, that being orange. But no, instead you make the fucking spring orange and yellow. Anyway, off we fuck. And now let's do the game. We are not going to get into any of these because I don't think we are going to finish before those guys. What the fuck is that? Oh my god. I just realized that the cocking and trigger spring are exposed. And you out with the magazine. Off with the slide. Off with this thingamajig. Let's pull that shit off. Safety first, if I remember correct. Then firing pin. And that should be the thing finished. Now screw this bitch down, including the grip, retaining bitch, the screws, and now that one. Remove the spring from it. Can I remove that? Yes, I can. Oh, it's the same thing. I thought you can. That's a sleeve. Anyway, that means we need to restart. Sear first, sear spring off, ejector out. Glorious, I misclicked, but it was okay. Now this little thing, and let's take it apart. Safety, sight, firing pin. What is holding the trigger? Seriously, what is holding? Oh, the fucking trigger guard, of course. Now I can remove the trigger and not take it apart, apparently. What the hell am I missing? Oh, the extractor. Of course, Autumn. And the extractor spring, and also this spring. The hidden springs of the Makarov. I'm going to do the restart now. Let's see how quick we can be. So. There you go. Safety. Firing pin. No, I wanted to click on the sear. Fuck you. Oh my god. Oh, you fuck. safety. Firing pin. Now the sear. Off with its spring. This thingamajig. The hammer. This bitch. Remove that. What did I forget? I forgot something. What the fuck did I forget? What the hell did I forget? Oh, the trigger. Okay, I'm going to restart that because I just fucking forgot the trigger. Wasting precious fucking time. I actually want to get the timed achievements for this because I like this gun. And if I like a gun, I want to do all the achievements for it besides the obvious leaderboard achievements. Because those are not just hard but also depends on the current leaderboard. Off you fuck. Including your stupid plunger, spring, that bitch, the extractor, its plunger, the safety, the firing pin, down to this bitch, sear spring, this fucker, hammer, this one, off you go, and trigger. Glorious. Can potentially finish it in one fucking go. Okay, so first that. No! The firing pin first, Zoltan. God damn it. See, this is why I said you can lose your goddamn sanity with this game. It would be very hard for the game, for the firearm to function with a firing pin though, so I can't say that it's the game's fault this time. It is a Zoltan fault. Because I am a dumb fuck. I'm already compartmentalizing my stupidity at least. Okay. No, I clicked the game. First I clicked the wrong part. Second I wanted to click this one. No, I actually didn't click the wrong part. It actually shows up. Fuck you. I can work on my time. I'm the best fucking player all around. Okay, fuck. Removing the slide immediately is also not a bad idea because it actually stops some parts. Sear, please. Then you. Then the hammer. Then this part. Pull the part. Then the trigger. And now we remove the safety. The firing pin. The sight, the extractor, and its plunger. It was actually the same as before, okay. I'm not going to bitch about it too much in that case. Now, firing pin first, then safety. Glorious Zoltan, you are not a total idiot. That stupid bar. The hammer. The Extractor. This fucker. Not to forget that one. This bitch. The trigger guard. This one. That one. Assemble the fucking magazine before I forget. Put on the grip. Screw on the grip. Put back the slide. And the magazine. Okay. That's going to be 2.8. 2.9 apparently. I got it! Yeah, to beat this fucker I would need to take 15 seconds from somewhere. Yeah, that's not happening. Let's do the super game now. Fuck. I can actually remove the victim. What the hell? Your plunger, please. I fucked it up, no problem. I forgot about that one. Safety first. Then the sight and the pin. Now the Extractor, which I barely saw. That bitch, and now back to the these ones, pull it apart, and the trigger. Glory to the Emperor. Now put the trigger backwards, put this bitch backward. Hammer. Extractor, ejector, thingamajig. Sear. Spring 1. Spring 2. Trigger guard. Magazine. That bitch. That's one. Fuck. Firing pin, safety, sight, plunger, extractor, slide, magazine. Fuck. I made a whoopsie. And the last thing we need is the hardcore. Okay, that is going to be a little bit faster after I remove the magazine. And now I can remove that bitch. Also that one, the grip, the spring, the extractor, if I fucking find it, that one. That one, can I remove that one? Thank you. Can I remove that one? Thank you. Safety, sear, what is stopping the sear to be removed? No, tell me, what the fuck is stopping the sear to be removed? Oh, I forgot to remove that one. Okay, restart. Extractor, that one, that one, that one. Fuck the plungers. The problem is that I need to go around really hard to find the parts. Can I remove the sear now? Thank you. Firing pin in the meantime. That one. That one. Hammer. Can I remove the... No, I cannot remove that one first. There you go. Pulled apart. Figure out. What the fuck did I miss? Seriously, what the fuck did I miss? There is 3 parts somewhere that I missed. Might be the game bugging out because it does that as well sometimes. I don't see shit though. Yeah, I think it's bugging out. Oh, I forgot to pull away the fucking... Yes, Zotan, congratulations. That's going to be a restart. Question. Let me guess, when I'm... Yep. You cannot do shit when the magazine is getting pulled out. Figures. That one, the plunger, that plunger, that one as well. Get the firing pin out. Now the sear. Remove that. Hammer. That one, that one. There you go. You are telling me somebody... No, I clicked! Fucker! See? The game likes to fucking misclick a lot of times. I am fairly sure that I didn't click that part, but one in front of it actually. Okay, that one comes off. That one, that one. Sear, the plunger, the other plunger, these two, the sear, hammer, but no, I cannot fucking see if every fucking part is. Why can't I play this in plastic in that case? Tell me, game, why cannot I play this in plastic? Like seriously, also is the part names immediate? Kind of. They are also small. Putting me in a high stress situation for not much to be perfectly exact. Oh, that one. In the meantime, let me get the shit out of you, like immediately. There you go, remove that, because I forgot like an idiot. Now the sear. And that one, thank you. Out with you as well, and you guys go. And now starts the hard part. And you go inside. Then hammer. Those two. You as well. Sure, why not? Can I put the sear back? Yes, I can. I can also. Why cannot I put that back now? Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! No! I can put that fucking part inside while the other one is going. There is no safety concern about doing that. Hell, there is no any concern about doing that. It's just an obvious fucking thing to do. Plungers. I clicked the fucking rear sight. What are you doing? In the meantime, get the goddamn sear off. Then these boys. Then this one. And I forgot something very obvious. I'm going to restore that. I wasted like 5 seconds just to find that. Yay. Get the goddamn seal off. Hopefully I'm not going to forget about it now. These two. That one. That one. That one. What did I forget? What the fuck did I forget? That one. And that one. Okay, I'm just going to start assembling now. That can go back in there, that as well. Why can't I put that back now? Because the goddamn trigger! Why they are separate fucking pieces? Ah! Why? There was nothing obstructing it, for fuck's sake. If I have 3 hands now in this stupid game mode, then make me have actually fucking 3 hands. Okay, take that off, that as well. The stupid spring now. The safety. Trigger guards, that bit. A bit from the trigger guard, the sear, the firing pin. Take that part of the sear, take these 2 parts out, take this one out, especially that and that. Okay, 44. Let's do this once again. You go back, also you go back, also you go back, and so do you. I'm going to assemble that bitch as well. Now you 2 can go inside, also you and you. I wouldn't mind the sear to be on there as well, thank you very much. And now that. The sear thing. That. No! Why? Why did you do this to me? You know what? I don't care. I'm not going to put myself through that once again. That's more than enough, even though I just kinda starting to hate that fucking piece of shit. I mean the weapon. Because of that. What else should we see? Oh, my other favorite, the Grease Gun. I already did a little bit of a gaming with that, mainly because the normal game was very fucking easy. I could also do the hardcore with that. Anyway, let me show you in operation first. So, this is a submachine gun. It goes very nice. Also, how much time do we have left? A lot. We are at the halfway point. So, it's an open bolt direct blowback submachine gun. Which, by the fucking by, just realized it's losing a lot of power because it's open bolt. Anyway, so, how does it work? Let me show you with the cutaway. So, the bolt part names. Okay, this is kinda getting on my nerves. Why the fuck does part names not active immediately? Is it in the settings? Autofocus, maximum speed, enable accelerator, activate accelerator by clicking, accelerate indicator size and opacity. Controls? No. Definitely neither of the video settings, so it should be in game. Why is it not an option to have the fucking part names immediately in there? Anyway, so basically how it works is when the weapon is in the open mode, there is this sear, which is basically just a part of the trigger. It has a connector and shit, but to be perfectly honest, they could have easily done this with a single piece trigger and oops, accidental discharge, and have this trigger spring like backwards. The stop catch. Ah, that one, okay. That actually needs a spring there. Anyway, so when you pull the trigger, it basically just lets the bolt flow forwards, which is done by these driving springs, basically forcing the bolt backwards, which in turn, by using the bolt itself, will grab onto the bullet, and because the firing pin is also located inside, well, not inside, literally, it's just a little bit of a bump in the bullet rest. The extractor is technically not a part of the bolt, as in, you know, it's welded onto it, but it's a separate part. And there is the extractor pin, which is very hard to get out. You literally need to roll over the bolt for that. But that lets the extractor get out, and it's like that because extractors like to shear the fuck off. So having it a separate part lets you put... Actually, I think I'm going to make the game a little bit lower, music-wise, so I'm not going to yell constantly. Anywho, so if you make the extractor a separate part, you can easily exchange it if it's worn off. There is also this part that I don't know why it exists. There is this guide rod for the... this guide rod retaining clip, which is basically just a little bit of a spring steel, which supposedly helps the guide rods be retained, but they are kind of flush perfect with the bolt itself. Also, the reason why is there two guide rods in there instead of, you know, just a big ass spring is because first the actual bolt needs to be guided on something, and it cannot be in the middle where it would make kind of sense because, you know, there is the fucking firing pin for that. Well, firing bump in this case. So that's why you have two guide rods, and they are kinda... I wanted to say that they are in the exact opposite sides, so it's symmetrical, but it's actually not. If they would be symmetrical, it would actually help with the goddamn recoil. But I guess they like that function of the submachine gun to actually have a fucking big recoil. Anyway, let's reload. It doesn't have a follower design like the Makarov, because if the gun is actually, you know, full, it doesn't need to be in the cocked position, but instead the fired position, I guess, if that makes sense. Oh, also I forgot to show you without the cutaway that when you take out the magazine, there is this cocking lever that if you pull back, it actually pulls the bolt back into proper position. How it actually works is that it's connected to this very strong spring loaded loading lever, which is connected to the Extractor lever, which are different things for the sake of naming stuff differently. It's an American custom to do so. Anyway, this Extractor lever pushes the bolt backwards when the cocking lever is well cocked backwards. This also resets the trigger, as you can't see. But the trigger is also already in the reset position for some fucking reason, even though when it goes back, yeah, they forgot to. Yeah, it's clipping through the fucking trigger. So, what it should do is pushing the sear and thus the trigger a little bit backwards. So when it ends, it can go up and stop the bolt itself. So it's not going to go forward now. And thus you can insert your magazine right now, and there is a sound it makes by the fucking by, which I can see from here. Kinda, maybe kinda. There we go, inserting the magazine. The cutout is in the fucking wrong place! Holy shit. Are you kidding me? Yes, the cutout is in the wrong place. It should be more upwards, I think. Okay, let's see without cutaway. Oh, there you go. So let's see without the receiver. There you go. Okay, what is that cutaway doing in that case? It's literally doing nothing. It's just there to be there. Why? Doesn't do shit. Anyway, so what retains the magazine is this bitch pushing in, I guess. A little spring. So when it would try to fall out, it's retained by this big ass magazine catch. Anyway, let me fire it a few times. That's a big ass ejector by the fucking by. I don't know why it's so big. Besides the sake for being so big. Let me just empty the gun, so we can see the reloading once again. Okay, we are firing. Now remove the magazine, please. So, we press on the magazine catch. Actually, ignore the hideaways. Is there anything that is catching onto that thing? No! This is... Oh, for fuck's sake, what is the purpose for that cutout? This one. Is it actually not a cutout but just a stamping that the game decided to make a cutout instead? I don't know. Anyway, very simple system. It does the boom. Also, as a matter of fact, the barrel assembly by the fucking pipe, because just the barrel is secured with this trunnion, and they are actually removable from each other. Is literally just screwed on there. Normally, if you would do this for a rifle, for example, these can shear off, but because it's just a 9mm bitch, it can handle it just easy. Anyway, what about safety, Zoltan? If I don't want to, you know, shoot myself in the leg, how do I do that with the grease gun? Easily. You flip the dust cover and that big ass meaty bit is going to stop the bolt from going forward. However, actually no, however, that is just the safety. What I wanted to tell you about is this little thingamajig here. In case the retracting handle, which is the cocking lever, fuck you, doesn't fucking work, or worse, you're actually firing the M3a1 Grease Gun, which doesn't have this cocking lever, which reduced the price like a lot, from 15 to 11.5 or something. Instead, you have this recess in the bolt, which is also visible when you know, I don't use the cutaway. What is also very important is that when the gun is empty, which we need to do manually by the way, you can see that there is still a little bit of bolt there to catch on. There is also this indentation for in case you want to put the dust cover on when it's still in the closed position. Don't ask why you would do that, and also don't ask how it should, like, you know, retain itself, because there is no spring inside, it's just a turn thingy. Oh, there is a spring inside, never fucking mind. Okay, in that case, how the fucking spring works in that case. And now I can't see anything besides the cover pin. Anyway, safety on, safety off. Ah, there you go. If you actually turn it, it has a little bit of recess in there, so it can no, work properly. Remove the bolt, so remove the barrel and all this shit that is hiding the view. So there is a little recess here that if you change, the sear can catch on to. So when it would, you know, try to go upwards for reasons, it actually stops it a little bit. Now, because you can actually pull it with your hand, it's not going to need too much force to open the dust cover, but I guess if you hold it upside down, it's not going to make the dust cover fall off, which I guess is the purpose for that spring in there. And also why it has the cutout in the bolt for the cover. See, the safety is even a different part, instead of just being a part of the dust cover. Sorry, being welded onto the dust cover, meaning that if the sear, the safety wears off for some fucking reason, then you can easily replace it. This gun, just like many other guns, is made to be easily manufacturable. and thus it was be easily sent to the troops. Now what I'm actually interested in is it a fucking smoothbore? Kinda seems like a smoothbore. Usually you can see the gray grooves with proper thingamajig. Anyway, also you can slide the stock in, obvious wire stock, but stops the stock from going too much backwards is the stock catch spring-a-magic. It's automatic, so if you pull on it, it's going to work. Sorry, not pull on it, push on it. It's going to let the another safety. The stock fall inwards. You can see the thing that retains it in the close position right there. One of them is weirdly on the inside instead of being, you know, omnidimensional, but I guess it doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter. No, it doesn't. There is a little bit of recess for that. Okay. Anyway, that is a horrendous sight, by the way. I don't know who decided that this Ocular Site is what it's called. I don't know, but can you see the problem with it? I can barely locate the thing with that. Because there is not much of a hole. And normally you wouldn't, you know, see through it like so. Because you don't have the gun like so to your eye, because it goes backwards. So even with the stock inside, it still provides a little bit of a what it's called, shoulder rest. So you're not going to blow your fucking eyes out by shooting. Anyways, oh, it also has this flash hider. The flash hider is secured via a very nice contraption also. Basically it's just a metal band with a screw that is forcing, let me show you in slow motion, that thing and the butt thingamajig together, so they squeeze tight on the barrel itself. Yeah, I think it's smoothbore. Actually, let me exit and let me check. Is it smoothbore?